Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and we're going to continue on here with some coverage of the Transformers Titans Return line. This is Deluxe class. The first official Autobot headmaster that we have gotten. This is of course Hardhead with his partner Furos. Or if you prefer, the artist formerly known as Duros. Anyway you cut it, he's pretty fantastic. We're going to take a quick look at him now in the latest GotBot True review. Okay folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and as always, I appreciate you dropping by. Check me out everywhere across social media. Check out the Everything Factor Machinery Man. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and we're going to go right on with this guy. And we're going to talk immediately about his paint apps. Because, as always, we're going to measure these guys with paint apps, Poseability, playability, and transformation, and we're going to talk about his paint apps right away. I'm giving his paint apps a 9. I'm giving it a 9. Not quite a 10, but I'm giving it a 9. If we were going in terms of accuracy to the original toy, this guy's a 10. He is pretty spot on. It is pretty fantastic. If we're talking about accuracy to the Japanese Headmaster series, I would still give this guy about a 9.5, 9.75, because again, he's really close, except he has a faceplate and he should have a face. If we're comparing him to the Rebirth episodes in the original animation, he's about a 9. Why? Because he has some extra detail down here. All of this should still be that browny color. His upper hip pieces should still be that. It's not even really a brown or a beige. It's more of like a stone color. And his head is actually way off here. I added a little bit of gray. I'll show that closer in a bit. Because there was a little bit of gray on the animation. He still doesn't have a face, he has a faceplate. That's kind of all we can do. At least it's yellow and his eyes are a blue visor, as they should be. But this is the way I really do remember Hardhead, so I'm kind of okay with it. So we're going to say a 9. Honestly, I prefer this over the Takara version. I feel like the brown used on that is a little too brown. I feel like this is more accurate, personally speaking. Poseability, playability. He rolls okay as a tank. In terms of poseability, playability, well, the head can go all the way around, even with his gun up on his shoulder. The head goes all the way around. The shoulders can go all the way up. They can go all the way around. There's a nice 90-degree elbow bend, kind of 2 hinges here. Some people collapse one of them to give him shorter arms, and he still has an elbow. It's really up to you if you want the arms extended all the way or like slightly closed up. I don't feel like it makes that much of a difference, so I just leave them out personally. The guy has wrist articulation with a swivel, and it can go in and out like this, so it can go in and out. And he can actually turn his wrist. I love that. That's fantastic. The gun, of course, mounts on his shoulder, the big cannon, or you can bring it down on his back if you want. The only spot for his hand blaster to store is up right here. I've looked around, I don't see anything else. That's a bit too bad, to be honest with you, because it's not the best weapon storage. Legs way out to the side. Way forward and way back, and a 90-degree bend and a tight thigh swivel. Honestly, he's really quite good. Big feet lets him stand nicely. I'm gonna give his poseability, playability, again about a 9. Here's why. He has all that. Granted, he doesn't have a waist, but you have this cannon thing. And I'm just going to remove it because the cannon just pegs into a hole here on the back. And I'm just going to Actually, I'm going to take him off screen for a moment so we can focus on this. As I said, his blaster just, his hand blaster goes up here. And of course this can come out and go in his hand as well. So he could, dual wield. This opens up. And you can put Furos or Duros, whatever you want to call him, in here and have him sit down. He doesn't sit tightly, but he can sit there. Also, this peg could fit in a 5mm port, say on Fortress Maximus or on Metroplex. And underneath, I don't know if this is going to focus, and underneath there's a little hole. That hole can go over the little post that the Titan Masters stand on. So I think that's really cool too. It allows this to integrate with Fortress Maximus to, I guess, enhance the base. So I think that's kind of cool. We might look at that again in just a little bit. So we're just going to take him off for a second. Right now this guy's scoring in strong 9. Strong 9. I'm just going to bring him back in here. And there he is. We can see him next to the modified blur, Titan's Return blur, that his head no longer has to remove for transformation. He's a little bit, I think, a little bit bigger than Blur, which is good because he's kind of a bulky bruiser type of guy. How does he compare with something that we're all sort of familiar with? Well, here's our good buddy, Alpha Bravo. And you can see that it's a good deluxe scale for even the Combiner Wars. They're good. They are. They really do feel good. I feel like the plastic is lighter for these guys, though. I don't know if it's thinner or what, but I do feel like the plastic is lighter on these guys. And maybe that's just me. Who knows? Who knows? I'm going to take off his head and show that up close, so we'll move the body out of the way here again, and we'll try and get close up here on the head. There's the head Furos. You can see I added a little bit of gray because the animation, the G1 animation, had a little bit of gray right there. I don't think it really changes it too much because this brown is sort of a stone color. This guy is a Titan Master that's pinned at the hip, so we of course can open him up. He's pinned at the hips. Here's how he looks. I feel like the ball joints for his arms are really tight. But here's how he looks. You know, the face of Furos really sort of mimics the face of Hardhead. Same articulation. You know, this little guy, in terms of paint apps, in terms of poseability, playability, all that stuff. Again, it's a 2 or 3. I mean, if you're into the gimmick, cool. As I said, he is, let's see if I can just show this. He is pinned. He is pinned at the hips. And of course we can just put him back. So I'm going to take him off. I'm going to take him off, and we are going to bring this guy back in without his head, because we don't really need it for transformation. This is where we start. We remove the head, and this is where we start. What can I say? What can I say about this? It's not a hard transformation. It's actually pretty fun, I think, anyway. The toes flip down and go all the way into the legs. The wrists, they turn in and fold into the arms, and the arms collapse. And the arms collapse. You know, not bad so far. Not bad at all. There's a little, let's see if I can show this. There's a little peg here on his very lower back that goes into a slot. You just unpeg that, and you straighten his entire body out. And now he's very high, kind of off the screen. See if I can, there you go. Right, that's what we have so far. His chest abdomen also unpegs. There's a little peg down here and a little hole up here, and you unpeg the whole thing. So now his body is just sort of hanging away loosely. His entire body will bend back, and when you bend the body back, actually, before we do that, let's collapse his legs. Very Combiner War style. There's a post inside of his leg here. There's a post in his leg. You basically pull the leg out and down like that, and then you bend the leg up on itself. I guess I should point this out. There's a little post here on this stone piece that kind of goes into a little spot here on the thigh. It doesn't really lock per se. It kind of locks, but It's more of a guide, I think, than a lock, but it holds. It holds quite well. That comes up. Now we'll collapse the whole body back. And on the inner thigh, there's openings. The ones on the top go over 2 pegs here on the center mass right here and over right here. So you bring the body down and you just take those thighs and you bring them up over onto that, which is not usually very hard to do. It's just a little bit, I guess, tricky where I'm doing it here a bit more of a distance on the camera. There and there, right? So they go on this little section right there in the center. You take his waist and you open it up and it comes back so that he'll be able to roll. And last but not least, you take the shoulder pieces and you angle them down, and there's a little hinge up here and you just angle the hinge down. After you angle the hinge down, you'll notice that you have a little hexagon hole, see if I can show it, little hexagon hole right here next to my finger, and really the pin in the arm fits into the hexagon hole, and the pin fits into the hexagon hole, and boom, there you go. You have Hardhead in robot mode. Wait, did I just say that you have Hardhead in robot mode? I mean alt mode. I mean alt mode, folks. And he rolls, you know, he rolls okay. He rolls pretty good. This can angle back like this and forward, and you can lift it up, and it will even swivel all the way around, which I think is nice. That's great that you get a tank that can do that. His little... Ooh, and I just, for the very first time, popped his cockpit off. But it's just a little friction joint. You open up the cockpit, you take Furos here, and you can place him down inside there. He locks in pretty secure. You bring it down and boom. Or if you want, alternately, you can take that out and you can do exactly what I said earlier, which is open up the cannon and bring it, you know, bring it back like that, say. And you would have to put this guy's arms out because he's not going to be able to fit there with his arms down by his side. So you put his arms out a little bit and you can seat him there as well. And either one works, I guess. I'm cool with either one of them, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to leave him, you know, in the actual tank seat here. That's just my personal preference. And right there. Transformation is quick, easy. Honestly, I'm giving his transformation... what am I going to give his transformation? Let's say again about a 9, 9.5. It's pretty great. It is pretty great. And you know what? I found it really funny that this guy's kind of an H tank, and he's great. And Warpath was an H tank, and he is everything good that a deluxe figure should be. Maybe it's something about this particular vehicle. Who knows? But overall, Hardhead and his partner Furos are easily a solid 9. They're great, they're fantastic. I've even had scraplets fiddling with these, and even the scraplets find them fun and easy to transform back and forth. And after all, that's exactly what we're looking for, whether you want them to look great on the shelf or whether you want kids to be able to actually play with the toys. I guess I should stick this in here now before I forget it. This is the collector card for Hardhead. It's his package art. It looks nice. I mean, it is what it is. Here are the stats on the back. Absolute bruiser. You know, his intelligence and his speed, they make sense. His fire blast, that even makes sense. He's a fighter, and it shows in his tech specs. He's a solid 9, folks. Anyway, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for giving me a little bit of your valuable time. You know by now that it is always appreciated. And what else can I say? I look forward to the next time that you and I get together right here again for another visit inside the videos.